Dairy farming is a big opportunity in Kenya. Kenya's cattle produce over 3.5 billion liters of milk a year. The dairy industry, dominated by small scale, is the most developed of the livestock subsectors in Kenya and is comparatively well developed relative to the dairy industries of other countries in sub-Saharan Africa. Development of smallholder dairy production systems in Kenya highlands has been marked by declining farm size, and that has pushed farmers to embark on zero grazing in order to maximize own space. Our farmer today tells us that the breeds of dairy cattle have been established by years of careful selection and mating of animals to attain desired types. Increased milk production has been the chief objective. Although the objective often has shifted to increased milk and protein production per cow varies with many environmental factors, but the genetic background of the cow is extremely important. Now let's get an inspiring story from young Don from Kiambu County.
Wow! Hey you! How are you? Hey! What's your name? Well, I think Kenya has one of the most successful dairy sectors, let me say, in the world, yeah? Because also it has a well-defined milk marketing system. But they say an average age of a farmer here in Kenya is 61 years old. But well, today we challenge that. We want to defy that because our dairy farmer today is a youthful gentleman who's tendering for these animals, these dairy animals, that they are looking so healthy and full of milk. Well, let me not talk much. Let's go meet our farmer here today. Let's go. Young Don.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine kabisa.
Ninaona unawalisha ng'ombe wako.
Ndo kuwalisha, ndo kuwapea chakula.
And they have different names in their ears.
Yeah.
I see there's Egypt, Nigeria, Mokuno,
China,
Russia.
Zura, and Casper.
So how do you determine their names? Because I see there's Egypt, Nigeria, Russia.
It's because the names are given to ensure that you can be able to keep the records. So at a given point, I'll be told Zora is not feeling well. I will come to the farm. I know Zora is not feeling well. When recording the production, I will know Zora didn't produce in the morning, so I will deal with one cow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why they have the names.
Now introduce us to Young Don Farm. What happens here? Because I know it's not just cattle that you have here.
Yeah, in Young Don Farm, we deal with cows, dairy farming, poultry farming, and pig farming. All are done here in this small piece of land in Githunguri, Kiambu County.
You're so youthful.
I'm just a Gen Z, just 22 years old.
So how did you begin? I'm so curious to know how you started this venture.
It all starts with the mind and the vision you have. So, but since I found my parents doing it, they had some cows there, which I will show you. So that's why I found them. Then they taught us how to come and to improve on what they were doing. So I can say they took part, they played a big part on it, but it's still on my mission and vision that tumeweza to grow.
So how many cows did you start with?
At the beginning, for young Don as me, I started with only 2, which have grown to these you can see here, around 32.
So how much startup capital did you set aside to begin this empire?
So at first you could think that I came, my parents gave me the cows, but no, it was a Dania farm. Here you can see this cow shed, there were Dania, this cow shed there were Dania, which had belonged to there. So it was during like January, like right now. So we were able to plant the Dania, we were able to sell them at a good price. So which around 200 to 300, it was a good market day because they grow using a lot of water, and January people don't have that water to plant them. So I came out from 2019 in Form 4. So 2020, January, I was able to start it. Then I joined a circle which is here, GDC, which have helped me grow by giving me some loans, helped me in growing. Yeah. The 200,000 was enough to start, because for buying a heifer, it costs you around 120,000. So when buying two, you just need around 240,000, and from there you can be able to get the production. When you get the production, when the GDC circle sees you have some money which is flowing from the milk, obviously they will call you and tell you, what are you doing? Can we improve your production? That's how they go. They assess your production. Then you can acquire some loans.
Young Don, I would like to know how the 2 cows multiplied to over 30 cows.
Obvious, for the 5 years you can't have 32 through calving. So we have had to take some loans, purchase some good quality breeds, then bring them to the farm. Some have been calved.
So at the initial stages, especially for someone who intends to begin, what are some of the key things that they should really know?
For anyone who wants to start the cow business or the dairy farming, the first thing you look at is the breed of cow you want to bring. So you can't bring the Frisian. Is a good breed because it has more production and it has more milk. For the Asha, it has quality milk but a little of milk. So here in Kenya you shall see many people farm using Frisian, and that's why I went. Most of the animals here, almost 99% are Frisian because of the quantity of the milk.
Frisians are known to be heavy feeders, yeah? So how do you balance that? Because I know it can be quite expensive, and I see that you feed them with Napier.
We feed them with Napier because obviously a cow was born to take on grass. So the moment you give it grass, then add some components, the cow is full. So mostly the main staple food for the cows is the Napier.
And how have you managed to increase productivity and to keep them at a higher level?
We don't just give them Napier, but I said that Napier is the biggest percent. So it takes like 70% of the feeding. Only 30% consists of the mineral salts, the dry feeds which are dairy meal, the mashisha you saw there, the pineapple peelings you saw there. Those are the 30% component. But 70% it's Napier.
Young Don, so I was just looking at this structure, the cow shed that you have here, and I was wondering, is this how it should be?
For a beginner, you can just come to the dairy farm and start with a metallic cow shed. You will consume all your money constructing the cow shed. So as a beginner, start with a wooden cow shed, a small cow shed. First of all, learn the tactics, learn the feeding, learn what the cows need, and then you go growing. Then when you see you are becoming good, you have now the knowledge, you can start expanding. But for a beginner, start small and it shall work.
And I see it's quite open, yeah? Is it just for aeration or you have a different purpose for it?
The mode of building is the zero grazing. In zero grazing, it's where you have some part, the sleeping area, the resting area and the feeding area. The resting area must be open so that the cows can acquire direct sunlight.
And now that you've talked about the mattress, so there is a scientific understanding about production of milk and the comfort they get.
Most of the milk in cows is made when they are asleep. That's when they make them. When you see them standing, right now they are not making any milk until it sleeps. So when it has no comfortable sleep, it won't produce. Itatoa maziwa kidogo.
So they have to be comfortable to produce milk.
If it is comfortable like the one sleeping there, maneno itaenda poa na atatoa maziwa mingi.
So Young Don, how did you decide that you're going to venture into zero grazing as opposed to open field? Because I understand open field is quite cheaper or affordable.
You can see the space is not big. So acquiring a land to be able to do free range, you have to go to their up country kabisa so that you can get the big runs. But here we have minimized land, so you must minimize the space and use the space very wisely. So we had to go for the zero grazing because the cow can be able to stay in one place, make the milk in one place, and be fed in one place, sleep in the same place, and produce in the same place.
So it's not that expensive.
It's a bit expensive because this one you need to build the structure, but the other one you just go, leave the cows there. So here you have to build the structure and keep the cows in.
So Young Don, in a particular cow shed, is there a particular number? Because here there are 32?
Yeah, in the whole farm we have around 62, of which the 32 now are the one that belongs to the Young Don. So per cow shed we have scheduled them, like this one, it has a maximum of 30. When it is full in the capacity of the fullest, it holds 30. This one holds at the maximum 12. The other one there holds a maximum of 12. Then the other one holds a maximum of 15.
Wow, Young Don, this is truly inspiring. To begin with 100 to 120,000 shillings, you being a Gen Z, that is truly inspiring.
Yeah.
Wow, wow. Tuwalishe kidogo.
Yeah.
I see they need some feeds.
Yeah.
Hawezi
kufanya kitu.
Wow.
There's a lot that you can explore in the dairy farming subsector. Milk value addition can be done by manufacturing a wide range of processed products. This includes heat-treated drinking milk through pasteurization, followed by flavoring or incorporation into other beverages, separating milk fat from other milk solids to make butter, ghee, and skim milk. Common dairy products include butter. Buttermilk plays a role in the typical diet of many nations. Cheese is delicious and it is popular throughout the world. It is a fermented dairy product that comes in different shapes and sizes. Yogurt is one of the most popular dairy products in the world. The main benefit of most dairy products is their significant and diverse nutrient content. Aside from pure fat sources such as butter, milk-based dairy foods contain high levels of protein, lactose, calcium, and phosphorus. When the mixture is kept warm for a few hours, the yogurt is allowed to cool. After this, the yogurt needs to remain warm to ferment. The more extended the fermentation period, the sourer the yogurt will be. Yogurt has been the focus of a wide variety of studies and is thought to have several potential health benefits.
And welcome back to Kilimo and Biashara show. Thank you for staying with us until this very moment. And when we took our break, he also took a break to milk the cows. So milking is currently ongoing. Young Don pia anajua kukamua. Young Don, so how many liters do you produce per day?
For now, we are producing at minimum 380 liters, at maximum 410 liters a day.
Whoa, we'll pour this first and then we continue. And a liter goes for how much?
For now, a liter is being bought by the cooperative at minimum 48 bob, at maximum 50 bob.
So where do we go to next as they take the milk away?
We go to the hay first shed, where we shall learn more about the hay first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You have hay first here as well. They're hard to manage, yeah?
Hay first are so hard to manage.
They're hard.
Yeah.
Egypt, Spain, Nigeria. Ethiopia, and there's China. So many heifers you have here.
For the heifers, we have around 16 of them.
Are they expensive to manage?
Yeah, for the heifers, it's like a small baby. A small baby always pays the fees, but the baby is not working and bringing the money home. So the same happens to the heifers. There's no production here. Not for the milkers, you feed them, you make them jioni asubuhi, they give you the money. But for the heifers, you just feed. He's just staying here and doing nothing, just milking. So it's hard, but it's the process. Yeah, it's part of the process.
Now that you've talked about the process, kindly enlighten us on the economies of scale, especially when you're having heifers, at the same time you're having the milkers. The heifers are quite expensive, but why do you keep them here?
Yeah, you have to start somewhere. You cannot just have the milkers and you don't have a tomorrow's generation. It's like a generation that we have the youth, we have the people who have grown with their ages. So it's a process, it's a growing process. So you start with the ndama, you go to the heifers, you go to the milkers. It's like a system of growth in a country. We have the nursery school, the primary school, the secondary, and the university. It still happens to the cow department. Yeah.
So did you calve all of this here?
Yeah, we have some which we have outsourced, but for some we have calved here, for some we outsourced because there is that continuity, so that you can't calve all these cows. So you have to outsource, you have sometimes to give out the breed, so it's a continuous process.
And do you sell the heifers?
In Yangdon farm, we say we don't sell cows, and we don't sell everything here. We say we give out the breed. So if you come here, you need a good breed. We just negotiate. You just tell me, I want to give you this amount of something. So we exchange. It's like that, yeah.
So you do barter trade?
Not barter trade, it's the currency. But it's like I've given you the breed, go continue, go start somewhere.
Oh, because you're also mentoring others?
I'm mentoring others. We have mentored some few people, which we shall show in the future.
And now let's talk about whether this dairy farming is a profitable venture. How is it for you?
Obviously, you can do a business that lands at losses at all times, but it's good for the government if it valued the prices of the feeds to come at least down kidogo, and the milk prices can hiken a little bit, just to favor the mkulima, because sahi mkulima anaumia, because the high taxes introduced to the companies, they are forced to take up the prices of the feeds, which has affected the dairy farming, the poultry farming, and the pig farming a lot. So if only the government reduces the tax to the companies, we shall have many people venturing into the farming industry, and we shall have many employed through farming. Because like Yangdon Farm, you can see we have employed some youths who wenye hawangekuwa na job, but because of this venture, they get their jobs and they are able to continue their lives.
But would you say confidently that it's a profitable venture?
Yeah, it's a profitable venture. I can do it when learning losses.
I know you've talked about tax and something else, but talk to us about the challenges. What are those challenges that even a new farmer can be aware of?
In farming, I tell a new farmer, don't come to dairy farming without knowing what dairy farming is. First of all, learn. Knowledge. What is the knowledge? Visit some farms, see how they do their things. You can't just come with this cow, keep it here, be feeding it grass only, without knowing what the cow needs, how the cow reacts when it has some problems. So first of all, learn. This is an investment. First of all, go, learn, have good knowledge, and it shall be easy for you.
I'm just curious, I'm sure there are pests and diseases also affecting your cattle. How do you manage them, and which ones have you been affected with so far?
Yeah, we have vaccinations, most of which we are given by the government, because we have some diseases which are very lethal. We have the lumpy disease, we have the foot and mouth, and we sometimes have some diseases which are not curable, which are viruses. So we have to do the vaccinations to avoid the spread out of the disease. And because in Yangdon farm we host very many people, we have to disinfect them before they enter here. Yeah, that's the first process.
And do you have an extension officer? Because I can imagine it's so important to have them here.
Yeah, we have one, of which he visits the farm every week once. He comes and assesses the press. He tells me here we are not going well, here we are going well, and he is able to manage the cleanliness of the press and to avoid some diseases from entering into the farm.
So tell us whether you've tapped into other byproducts that you can get from the cattle, because I know aside from milk, what else have you explored?
So like for Yangdon farm, we don't buy the fertilizers because the manure here it's already enough fertilizer which we use to grow our crops. We used to grow the napier, and also the manure here produced by the cows, we used it to produce the gas that we use for cooking, for warming the water for milking, and we used it for cooking because the gas prices are too high. So it saves us a lot because they use the biogas to cook and to warm the water.
Any plans to venture into the value addition section?
That's in the future, because like for now we said we don't have those monies to purchase the machinery, but in future we pray to God and we strive harder that we shall be able to do some good work here in Yangdon farm to be able to add value to our products.
And since I've seen that you have poultry here, as well as pigs and many others, is it intentional whereby there is a way they work in tandem?
Yeah, they depend on each other sometimes, because you can go find the prices of eggs are down, the eggs are not moving in the right manner. So you use the cow money to feed the chicken. You can find the pig farming is not bringing some profit. So you can use the money produced do the dairy farming to boost the pig farming. They depend on each other. And also some chaffings which come from the poultry side, we use them as feeds for the pigs and the cows.
Would you encourage other youths like you to venture into the agricultural industry?
That's the biggest goal of Yangdon Farm, and that's why we try to pull more youths to come into farming, employ ourselves, and don't say that hakuna kazi, hakuna kazi. We can start from somewhere, build a nation of farming, because farming is a continuous process. Even if we go 100 years to come, we shall still eat every day, we shall still drink every day. So it's a continuous process, and it's a process that can employ most of our youths.
Would you say dairy farming is the future of agriculture?
All farming sectors are the future of agriculture, because the one doing poultry, dairy farming, pig farming, the production will continue. People will continue eating the eggs, people will continue drinking the milk, people will continue eating pork, and it's the future.
Yangdon, you promised me a glass of milk. Yeah. And you know, of course, I can't live here without testing milk from these beautiful Frisian cattle here. Let's go.
Let's go.
Lazima nionje maziwa yao. Quality. Yeah. And you know, we can't finish this show without having a test of this milk. And I like my milk hot. I really like the milk, first of all,
yeah.
And I'm so impressed with what you're doing right here in the farm. 22-year-old with over 60 cattle. Wow, good job, good job. We appreciate you, and here at Kilimo na Biashara, we say thank you for allowing us to come to your farm.
Thank you.
Wow. thank you for being part of the show today. I'm sure we've inspired you to be a dairy farmer, right? Well, we've given you all the tips that you need to know to be a dairy farmer. Thank you so much for being part of this show, and see you again next Sunday.